What's up everybody, Jesse here, or Game Over Jesse as y'all may know me, and today I have my predictions for Nintendo at E3. Now, when Nintendo first mentioned anything about their E3 plans, they said The Legend of Zelda for Wii U will be the only playable game at E3, which was kind of crappy for Nintendo fans, but for Zelda fans, what more could you ask for? And then they announced that they won't be showing off NX, so again, kind of crappy for Nintendo fans. But a few weeks later, about 2 weeks before E3, they came out and said Zelda Wii U will be the only playable game, but we will have live gameplay of Pokemon Sun and Moon, meaning they'll be playing it for their Nintendo Treehouse event and talking about it in their conference. They'll also be showing off Monster Hunter Generations, Dragon Quest VII, and Tokyo Mirage, with a Q&A session for Pokemon Go, and this is all they've announced. Now obviously at every E3 you have your announced games and then you have your unannounced games. Like last year they said Zelda will not be shown off at E3. Well, Zelda Wii U wasn't shown off, but Triforce Heroes was. So can we expect any surprises from Nintendo at E3 for this year? And I think absolutely yes. Another instance is last year they showed off Metroid Federation Force, not necessarily at E3. They revealed it during their Nintendo World Championships before E3 officially started, and then they later announced and revealed that was the Metroid game that they've been working on for the 3DS. So they have these weird tricks that they can do to where they won't necessarily reveal it at E3, but maybe a Nintendo Direct a few days before, or a few days a week after, or something like that. Or maybe they just sneak it into their actual conference, or show it off during their live presentation for the Nintendo Treehouse Live, or whatever. And some of the things that I think they will do is, I think they will show off or announce another Zelda game. Maybe not for the Wii U, but for the 3DS. Whether it be another small original title like Triforce Heroes was, where it doesn't take too long to make the game, they can reuse the same engine, some of the same assets, artwork, sort of like what they did with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, or Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. They can reuse the engine from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, or they can reuse the engine from A Link Between Worlds or Triforce Heroes and come up with another game to sort of hold us off until Zelda Wii U actually launches on the NX or the Wii U whenever it comes time for that. And then something else is, instead of making an original game, they could make another remake. There was rumors that Link's Awakening was going to be the next Zelda game to be remade, and by all means I think that is the Zelda game to be remade. And honestly, if you look at it, it's the most lacking in terms of technical specs. Like, pretty sure the regular NES was more powerful than the Game Boy, so that would make this like the least impressive to look at and stuff. It's a fun game to play, it has a fantastic story, Cohelant Island, amazing place, setting for the game, but a remake on the 3DS would be amazing, especially if it had the same engine as A Link Between Worlds or Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask. Replaying that game instead of a top-down view with it behind the back would be amazing. But moving on from Zelda, one thing that they could do that not necessarily would be a new game being shown off, but they've always hinted around about their virtual console. Recently they announced DS games. Maybe now they can move on to GameCube games. Everyone wants Super Mario Sunshine and several other games that were exclusive to the GameCube that you can't really play on the Wii U. GameCube games are really the only games that you can't play on the Wii U console. You can play Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Advanced, all these different console games, but you just can't play GameCube. So maybe they'll announce that GameCube games are finally playable. Again, a lot of people want to play games like Super Mario Sunshine or Mario Kart Double Dash, some other great GameCube games. There's a ton of them. Even being able to play Melee again on the GameCube would be amazing. If you put that on the eShop or something for $20 or $30, it would sell just as many copies probably as the new Super Smash Bros. Has. And the game already works, you just have to get it to run on the Wii U's emulator. And the final in-your-face huge moment that I think they'll probably end with, or it'll be somewhere in the middle of the conference or the Nintendo Treehouse, is the new president of Nintendo is going to come out. He's going to be talking about mobile games, he's going to be talking about what kind of deal and games they have in development, what you can expect from DNA. They may hint towards something with the NX, but probably not. But the huge thing is, I think those are going to be all the games they talk about, but I think there'll be some sort of announcement or hint at the future of what they're going to be in terms of lending out their IP and their characters and their ownership of these things to different companies for movies, for TV shows, for Netflix series and stuff, because they came out recently and said they're going to be looking into it, and their plan was to have something out in the next few years. I think you're finally going to maybe see some concept of it, or at least a title of what their first project's going to be, which honestly, Mario, I think is going to be the obvious choice. I think a Fire Emblem anime would be amazing for people that are into anime. A Zelda anime would be great. Or there were rumors about the live-action TV show, but then people said Nintendo's not going to make movies, they're not going to make TV shows. Well, now they came out and said, yes, we're going to start making movies, we're going to be making TV shows. So does that put more weight behind the Zelda Netflix TV show rumor? And then there were leaks whenever Sony's documents got leaked that they were in talks with Nintendo to produce a full-length animated Mario movie. So I think we will finally get some official announcements about that, and I don't expect too much else about the Wii U, maybe a little bit about the 3DS, but this is what I think the conference is going to be. So a quick recap: the live action movie anime stuff, the mobile game stuff, all of the Zelda stuff, the games that we mentioned, some eShop surprises for GameCube games and stuff like that. But let me know what you think is going to happen. Let me know what you expect to happen. Who do you want to be talking about these games? Do you want it to be Miyamoto, Reggie, Aonuma? Who do you want to come out to be the face of their E3 conference? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Hey everyone, welcome to the end of the video. I want to thank you all for watching it all the way through. This is the end slate, or the part of the video where I'm supposed to say something clever to convince you to subscribe or watch another one of my videos. So if you liked what you've seen here, then I have another top 10 video where I go over the top 5 lies that Nintendo has told their fans, which is interesting if you're into that sort of thing. And then if you're into Zelda or just Nintendo games in general, I have another awesome video that I'm really proud of, where I collaborated with Yuri of Wind, HMK, McIntyre Productions, and several others to come up with a Zelda theory on who built Hyrule. We all know Hyrule from the game's overworld. In most Zelda games, it's the world that you're in, and you never really stop and think who actually built all of this. So we worked together, Yuri of Wind, HMK, McIntyre Productions, and we recorded this theory. I hope you guys like it. And last but not least, I want to take the time to thank my Patreons for actually making this video possible. If it wasn't for their support on patreon.com/GameOverChessy, then I wouldn't have really had the time to put forth to actually make this video. So thank you Alex Myers, Gus Calvo, Jonathan, The Itch Network, and Julio Rodriguez. Thank you all for your support and contributions on patreon.com. And if you would like to help support this channel as well, to help me create videos like this, or give me ideas, or even be in some of my videos, please head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse